All right, guys, this is Brewster. We're standing here in Concord, in North Carolina. What's the name of this place, man?
We're at Les Myers Park. We're in the Frank A. Douche Jr. Amphitheater.
The Frank A. Douche.
Shut up! Look right there, man.
Frank A. Douche. It's right there on the board, man. So we're here with American Murder. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Yeah, we're live.
All right, cool. Well, for those of those that don't know you guys, first let's start with the name. How did the name come about?
The name actually came from, it was just something I came up with a long time ago, and he hated it at first, and we kind of, but we couldn't come up with anything better, so that's what we ended up sticking with. And to me, it's just kind of a reference of, the state that America is in today and has been in for a long time. So just a name to kind of make people stand up and take notice, because, you need a good name.
Okay. All right, well, how long have you guys been together when you formed?
4 years? Yeah, we've been together 4 years. Me and him, we started it. It was actually a side project, and the band he was in broke up, and so then he calls me up and goes, "Dude, I want to play bass, man. We'll start this thing going." So 4 years ago. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, out of your guys' music, what do you want your fans, the people that have been following you, and the new fans that are going to watch this, what do you guys want your fans to get out of your music? What do you want them to get by listening to your music?
Just the music itself. Stop thinking about how technical we're playing and just listen to the songs that we're writing.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I think I think to a certain degree, I want to have a lot of fun with music. I hope they dig a little deeper. And as opposed to, some of this music is so superficial these days. I want people to actually listen to what we're saying. But at the same time, we write music for people to have a lot of fun too as well. So as long as people are having fun, I'm pretty happy.
Okay. All right. Well, how important is the live aspect? Like, obviously, you guys like to dress up. So how important is the live aspect to you? Do you guys sit around thinking, okay, what can we do to top the last show that we didn't do this time?
Yeah. I mean, last time we had a breakdancing banana. So now it's like, okay, what do we do next? Do we have a gorilla come out and molest the banana? I mean, what
that would be a good idea.
Yeah. So
the live aspect is definitely important. It's the most important thing to me. Like there's nothing better than standing on that stage and just doing what we do, man, and doing it better than anybody else does it. And that's what's most important to me about this band. And everything else is secondary. But as long as people come to the live show, have a good time, spend lots of money, then
lots of money.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, your sounds kind of got like punk and metal and everything kind of thrown in together. What were the bands? I'll start with each one of you. What were the bands that first infected you with metal? Like, was there a certain band that you said, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
With metal or just
rock and roll? Yeah.
Shit. I don't know. Most of my grandma used to play CCR a lot.
Okay.
And I really, really like CCR. And then my mom got me into more of the punk stuff, like Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, stuff like that. And also into like hair bands and then real metal, like Judas Priest and Twisted Sister and Scorpions. And it just went from there. I mean, it's just, I listen to all kinds of stuff, but really it was the punk that got me into music. And then, like I say, stuff like Judas Priest. I mean, that's what I grew up listening to.
Okay.
So,
all right.
That's me.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. My parents started me out on like Michael Jackson and Bruce Springsteen, but I moved on to like Twisted Sister and Iron Maiden, and eventually into the Misfits, which led into like Metallica, and Nirvana came into play, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and even Bob Marley at one point. And so that's why it's just such an odd arrangement of music most of the time. We're always just coming from some crazy places.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, with me, started out with me. Music started with the Beatles to me. It starts and ends with the Beatles, and it was the Beatles from a very early age. And I grew up listening to a lot of. My dad was in bands. My dad was a really, really good drummer, and he played in a lot of bands. And so I came up listening to the stuff he listened to. And my earliest concert, the first actual concert I ever went and saw Trickster, Slaughter, and Poison.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, in Evansville, Indiana, man, the Flesh and Blood tour. It was awesome. And but I mean, I got into, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot more into the punk stuff, and I pull from a lot of places that I don't think are really obvious in our music. Like I said, the Beatles. I'm a huge Green Day fan. Blink-182, Coheed and Cambria. But the real early stuff, man. Kiss was it when I was a kid, man. You listen to me play, you listen to my solos. I'm Ace Frehley. I'm Ace Frehley Jr., man. Everything I know I ripped off from him. So.
All right. All right, cool. Now, the record you guys got out is Chapter 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What inspired you to write the songs on Chapter 1? What did you pull from? Was there any specific ideas that you wanted to, any topics that you wanted to write on?
You look at me. Well, like I said, everything in the band goes together. Everything in the band is part of a continuing story. There's a story that is going to run throughout our records. And it's based a lot on, like I said with the name, it's based on a lot of what's going on in America, what's going on in society, but it's just kind of set in a different time, in a different way. And so while I draw from just everything around me, I've just kind of taken it all and condensed it down into this basically sci-fi story, and that's what our records are going to be about. But at the same time, I can draw a lot from personal experience. I can draw from things that are going on in my life, and I take them and I twist them and I warp them in my head, and I fit them into the story somehow. So it comes from everywhere, man. Just living is where it comes from.
Okay. Now this is the part of the interview where it's going to go. It could go good or could go bad. But I ask this one every time, and I want each of you to answer this in your own thing. Does God have a place in heavy metal?
Does God have a place in there?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I mean, we managed to fit Satan in there.
Right.
Everybody, whatever inspires people to get out there and do it, it's fine. There's no reason to bring my personal beliefs into it or anybody else's. If people, if Jesus and God's what's making somebody rock, man, more fucking power to them. But that's all I have to say about it.
All right.
Yeah, I like to think about Headbanger. What is it? Headbanger's Journey? Is that the documentary?
Yeah.
I like to think about the very end of that documentary. I don't remember the exact quote right now, but
the pipeline to God.
The pipeline to God. Exactly.
Yeah,
I think about
that's
that
what got me.
all the time.
Right.
And I think it is. It is a pipeline to God because it brings us all together. Look at how many kids are having such a good time. When you look out there, just hundreds and thousands of kids just getting all that energy out and just having a great time, and they're not like hurting anybody, and they're not hurting themselves, or it's just it's very spiritual. So I would definitely say.
Cool. All right.
I'm gonna quote Kiss, and God gave rock and roll too. Well, I think God has a place in music, any kind of music, heavy metal as well, only because music itself will, you can listen to it, it can elevate you one way or the other.
Right.
It can bring you down, it can make you happy, or you could write a really awesome song, and, it'll make you think, well, what was the guy thinking when he wrote this song, and stuff like that. But I mean, to me, it's like in the Bible they say, play music and dance, and it's a way of, worshiping God. So if you're up there, putting your heart and soul into the music, regardless of whether you're, a Christian or a Buddhist or a Satanist, it doesn't matter as long as you, believe in what you're doing. And I think that's either way, praising God.
Right.
I mean, that's just me.
Okay, cool. All right, that's a good answer. All